I welcome you all to this session on Blockchain 101, which will cover all the basics terminologies involved in blockchain Web3 space. So before we move to the agenda, let me tell you what I do. So my name is Apurv, and I am a community manager at Lumos Labs. As far as my role is concerned, and for those who do not know what a community manager does, ideally, a community manager has to look after all the community building, engagement, interaction, and developing part of the community, be it in the Web3 space or Web2 space. So as far as my role is concerned, I'm responsible for organizing offline and online meetups all over India. And till date, I have organized close to 50 offline meetups and close to 30 virtual sessions. But this is not just what a community manager has to do. There are a lot of things, a lot of roles and responsibilities to be fulfilled when you are a community manager, and the rest of the roles are being fulfilled and taken care of by my fellow colleagues. So as we have 60 minutes for this session, and as we proceed, you might develop some doubts and questions. So I will request you all to just note it down with yourself, and if time permits, I'll solve all those queries. And if not, these are my social media handles. You can reach out to me. I'll solve all the queries of you personally. Moving forward towards the agenda, I'll cover all the basic terminologies involved and try to eliminate the myths which is involved in it. Starting from Web3, blockchain, wallets, NFT, DAO, Metaverse, and the most important thing as an audience point of view, which is what to do after knowing all of it. I don't want you all to just listen to me, learn from me, and just go away. As a takeaway, what I want you all to do is to get something insightful which you can implement in your practical life. And that is the most important key takeaway from the session. That is jobs and opportunities in Web3, which I'm going to cover. Also, what you all can expect from the session is a kickstart into your Web3 space. Assuming that you are, most of you are from college, or some of you are freshers from some different IT fields, or you are started your professional journey, or some of you must be a bit of curious about this Web3 space and blockchain and a bit enthusiastic about it. You might get an opportunity to know, to learn, to understand what all of this is, and to get practical hands-on experience by landing into a community and starting and evolving as a person. So that is what you will get, a kickstart into Web3, probably an internship or some access to the programs which we offer. And obviously some Lumos exclusive swags. By Lumos exclusive swags, I means the company I work for, Lumos Labs. I'll ship you the t-shirts, stickers, and badges. And how you can get is by just taking a screenshot of this session or clicking a picture, tweeting about it, telling and describing how much valuable it was for you. Tag me, use hashtag Lumos Labs. And after this session, I'll go through all the tweets, all the Instagram stories all by myself. I'll shortlist 3 of them, and then I'll contact you personally, DM you, take your address, and that's it. I'll ship it to them. It won't be a scam. Don't worry about it. Jumping into the part for all which you have joined. But before that, I want to make one thing very clear. I won't force you to turn on your cameras. I won't force you to interact with me. I just want this session to be 90% of the part responsive and 10% of the part interactive if you find so, if you feel to interact so. By responsive, I mean throughout the session, I may ask you some questions whose answer would be just yes or no. And I would love to see your response in the chat box just by typing yes or no. So to test it out, guys, are you here? Are you ready to get into the Web3 metaverse? Before knowing, understanding what Web3 is, let us go back to the time of 1990s to understand what Web 1.2 is, or from where the internet era originated. In 1990s, when the internet started, all you had was bunch of static pages on the internet where you just went, you searched for something, and you could just see what they had for you. Nothing much. No interaction, no engagement, no logging in, no ads, nothing. Just the internet having some set of information for you. And here you are the consumer. And that is why it is called as read-only internet. To sum it up, Web 1.1 in one sentence, it would be like hyperlinking all the Wikipedia pages for you on one platform. That was Web 1.2. And then in early 2004 and late 2004, 2005, during that period, Web 2.0 came into existence. That is when platforms and softwares like Facebook, YouTube, and Amazon came into existence. That is when internet gave you the authority, the access to interact with it. Now it has to go two ways. Internet will give you information, and now you can give information, feed data, feed content to internet by yourself. But the catch is, it is also known as the age of targeted audience. And why I say this? Because Facebook, YouTube take your content, analyze your data, and sometimes it sells it to marketing and advertising agencies, so that the next time you open their platform, you get relevant suggestions on your feed. And that has happened a lot of time. That happens most of the times, but very few of the cases are highlighted. Yes, the most uh, general, the most sought after, the most trending case of that time was, there was a tripod selling company which used to sell their tripod using Amazon, by Amazon. And for every sale they made, 25% of the share was given to Amazon. The business was booming, everything was going good. The tripod selling company and Amazon both were getting their revenues. And all of a sudden, next day, the company vanished from Amazon's database. It just vanished. All the tripods, all the data, all the money, it just vanished from Amazon's database. And it happened because Amazon had that authority to take away that company's name from his server. And what Amazon did was, they started making their own tripods and selling it to the users directly, because they knew that tripod selling industry is booming and they can make more profit. So instead of settling for just 25% of the shares, they just eliminated their competition and took 100% of their shares instead of 25% of the share of the company. And that was legal by that time. And it still is in the Web 2 space. So this is what we call as read and write internet, where we can read what information we have on the internet and we can put our content on the internet. But that content which we put is not ours. We ideate, we think about it, we curate, we make, we post it. And once we have posted that content on the internet, it is not ours. It is the platform's content now. Now the platform gets to decide what to do with your content, where to share it, whether to run ads on it or not. And that is how the whole picture of algorithm takes into frame. That is how we nowadays, the social media influencers create content just by analyzing the algorithm. Algorithm is nothing but platform using a set of data which is trending globally and pushing that particular data to everybody. So now, no matter how good your content is, no matter how valuable your content is, it is up to the platform. It will decide where to show it, where to boost it, where to promote it. And you don't have any say on that. Now, in this period, currently in the late 2022, this is the phase where we are transitioning from Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. And what makes Web 3.0 different is, at once you create content, you make content, you post content, that content is going to stay there forever, and that content will be yours, just yours. No other platform, no other person, no other party is gonna tamper with that content. It is all yours. And once you post it, You get to decide where you want to post it, how you want to post it, who else will be able to see that content, if you want to run ads on that content or not, if you want to generate revenue out of that content or not. All the authority lies in your hands. And that is what we call read, write, and own internet. We own everything. And that is where the term of decentralization came into existence. Because when we talk about Web 2.0, the platforms where we put our content, the centralized entity, the centralized companies have say on our content. For example, it is Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever it is. But in Web 3.0, it is decentralized. No single person, no single company can take your content and use it for their own purpose as they want to. So this is what Web 3 means. Your content, your type of content, and you have all the authority over your content. All right, moving forward. So if we go by the definition of Web 3, essentially the next version of the internet that aims to shift the power from the larger centralized company into the hands of individual users. That is what I tried to explain in the previous slide. All clear by now? So there is a term, there is a myth, there is a lot of confusion when we talk about Web3, crypto, blockchain in general. Many people try to mix it up and build up their own definitions, that they think that this is all the same thing, but it isn't. Web3 is different, blockchain is different, cryptocurrency is different. Now let's talk about blockchain and what, and I'll try to simplify it, explain it in the very simplest manner. When we try to store some data, we usually try to store it in a tabular form in the Excel sheet or in a document. But if you, in the blockchain space, if you want to store a data, let's assume we have 4 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. Block number 1, block number 2, block number 3, and block number 4. You store all the data in each of the blocks in block number 1, 2, 3, and 4. You link all of them, and block that creates a chain is a blockchain. It is as simple as that. Blockchain is used to store your data, and data can be anything. Data can be your document, data can be your credentials, data can be your content, data can be anything. That is how you store it. So I'll tell you how blockchain exactly works. As you can see on the screen, there are 3 different blocks. This is just for your reference to tell you how blockchain works. There are millions and millions of blocks which are being used in a blockchain, in a server. We have 3 blocks, block number 1, 2, and 3. And these 3 blocks are linked to each other. And when we put data to each one of them, let's say if we put a data of, let's say 100, and we put it in block number 1. We put a data, let's say 200, we put it in block number 2. Data of 300, put it in block number 3. Each time when we create or we store data in that block, that cannot be changed. Once we have stored it, we have stored it. That isn't gonna change neither by us nor by any other party. It is stored and it cannot be then tampered. The reason why it is almost fail-proof is, as I said, the blocks are linked to each other. So once this data is stored in one of the blocks, it will create a hash code. As you can see on the slide, there is a hash code generated 1Z8F. It is generally a 256 bit of a data, a number, which is represented, but for the slide's sake, I have used that 1Z8F. That, which means when I put some data, some kind of data in the block number 1, the hash code of 1Z8F is created. When I put 200 count of data in the block number 2, that creates hash code of 6BQ1. When I store 300 number of data on block number 3, that creates hash number of 3H4Q. All right. And what makes it fail-proof is, since it is interlinked with each other and there are millions and millions of blocks which are linked to each other, if someone wants to tamper this, if someone wants to hack this, let's say there is someone from, I'll pick a name from the chat box itself. Let's say Dhanushka wants to hack block number 2. So what she will have to do is, once she has hacked it, but it isn't easy. It isn't easy at all. But even if she manages to uh, hack block number 2, the hash code, which is 6BQ1, will get changed. And as the block number 3 has already got the previous hash number, which is 6BQ1, and that data won't match. And that is how you will be able to see that the data has been tampered. And just to manipulate all of the data, just to hack, just to make it like seamless to hack, you will have to change all the subsequent hash codes, which is nearly impossible to do, because it takes a lot of time, a lot of efforts and energy to hack one block. So summing it up, when we store some data in block, it creates a hash code. The subsequent block gets the hash code of previous block, as the block number 2 has got the hash code of previous block, which is 1Z8F. Block number 3 has got the previous hash code of 6BQ1. So this is how the chain works. This is how the system works. So even if someone tries to hack it, he or she may be able to hack that particular block, but since the hash code of the existing block will get changed, the hacking will get into notice, and it won't be just possible for that one person to hack all the blockchain. The another reason for this is because it isn't stored in just one server. This data is stored in almost hundreds of nodes all over the globe. So if even if the all the even if 80% of the nodes are not working, even if the 20 nodes are working, this server won't get down. It just won't. So moving forward to know what are wallets. So for all the Hindi audience we have, it's Batua. It's just like Batua. So we use wallets for a regular purpose. Just a moment. Yes. So as we use wallets to store cash, in the Web3 space, there are two purposes to solve. The first one is to manage all the transactions on this platform. When you buy something, when you buy some cryptocurrency, when you buy something Ethereum or something, you need a wallet address to store it. You need a wallet address to buy it, purchase it. And the other one is, I'll give you an example. When I was in my college, I used to play a game called Shadow Fight 3. Right? And while playing that game, there comes a point where you are out of your lives or out of your superpower, and you need to buy some gems and some in-coin gems and in-game there. Hey, thanks Anand for the clarification. Yeah. So in the game, there comes a point when we are short of money, in-game money, and you need to log in using your email credentials or to create a game-specific account for the same. So by logging into that game using my email ID, I'm risking my name, I'm risking my mobile number, I'm risking my email ID, I'm risking all the private data which I have for myself just for the sake of that game. And by agreeing to that, I'm giving all of my private data, personal data, to that game developer, to that company, and I don't even know it. So in order to access decentralized application in the Web3 space, all you need is just a wallet address. When you, I'll tell you what the app is in the further slides. When you want to access an application, use an application in the Web3 space, all you need to put is just a wallet ID. It won't ask you for mobile number. It won't ask you for email ID. It won't ask you for your age, gender, or anything else. All you will need is just a wallet ID. So there are two types of wallets which we can create. The one is a custodial one. The second one is a non-custodial one. By custodial one, I mean that you trust some other web-based application to make transactions on your behalf. Like you will create your ID on their platform and they'll do all the transactions on your behalf. Just like Coinbase, WazirX, Byconomy. And when we talk about non-custodial wallets, it is like you have hold of all the private key. You are making transactions all for yourself. You're not let you're not letting any other person, any other company, any other organization to make that transaction for you. But it is too risky, because once you lose that private key, you cannot get it. You are just damned. If you lose it, you lose it forever. And all the data, all the let's say Ethereum or cryptocurrency you have, or the transaction data you have in your wallet, it is just lost if you forget your password. That is why most of the people nowadays prefer custodial wallets, because they come up with a extension which helps you remember your password by just sending you a mail and entering that OTP and getting you back on the application. So that is what wallets are used for. The first one is to access the applications, and the second one to do the transactions, to buy or sell something. Moving forward, just tell me, have you ever heard of NFTs? Chat box, please. Okay, a lot of mixed response. That's good. So for those who don't know, it is not nice fat tummies, guys. It's something else. Common current buzzword. Yes, Francisco. It is. It is. So NFT, for all the Hindi audience here, and this is what we call an NFT. You might be wondering why I have put this Majnu Bhai ki painting in this slide, because this is an NFT. This Majnu Bhai ki painting is an NFT. I'll tell you why. Because this painting, a donkey riding on a horse, is unique. It has an owner. Majnu Bhai is the owner. And now, once a digital art is unique, becomes unique and has an owner, it can be used as an NFT. NFTs are some digital tokens, digital images, which can be used for transactions, which can be used for various purposes. Let's say you are building, you have an NFT, you have minted it. By minted, I mean published. When we talk about minting, it always uh, implements publishing that NFT on some other platform. Let's say if you have an NFT on application which is based on a blockchain technology called Polygon, and you want to share it to some other platform, let's say Arcana. So that NFT has to be that compatible with both the blockchains. That is the really must. And how and why NFTs are booming is because NFT is not just about that picture. NFT is about the utility which it carries with it. By utility, I mean, let's assume there is a concert going, the 31st December is coming, New Year party will be roaring in coming future. Let's assume there is a party in which Martin Garrix is coming, and you just have to buy some passes for that. So ideally, what we do is book some online tickets or book some hard tickets, printed tickets for the same. But by that case, we have a risk of that copying that ticket, just printing that ticket. We have a risk of just making a duplicate and using it multiple times. But when we talk about minting an NFT, so it can be used as an event ticket. If you want to go to that event, if the organizers are into the Web3 space, if they want to implement the Web3 into their ticketing structure, then all they can do is just mail you an unique NFT just for you. So all you will have to do is just go and show that NFT to them, and that's it. No hassle, no trouble of standing in the queues, standing in the lines, waiting for hours to get that single pass. You will have that NFT all by yourself on your mobile screen to show them. That is how powerful it can get. But also, when we talk about its utility, what most of the digital influencers do nowadays are they sell their NFTs in very, very high prices. And the reason why it is so high is because uh, the utility, the value it carries, and the demand it has, it is super, super, super high. Let's say you must have heard about Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Yes or no? Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. So what Gary V, I won't tell you about Gary V, but I would highly recommend you to Google who Gary V is and why he is super crazy about NFTs from the last 2 years. He has been pushing NFTs like anything. He has been promoting and using NFTs like anything since the last 2 years. And now it is its value which he created just by creating, minting NFTs in that early phase. Let's suppose if he made and sold an NFT 2 years ago for $100, now its worth would be minimum thousands of dollars because of the value which comes with that NFT, which is Gary Vee provides a unique link to his community. Gary Vee provides unique access, exclusive access to all the resources which he uses for his businesses. And for someone who knows who Gary Vee is, and for someone who is interested in what Gary Vee does, that is a big thing. Because you don't really know what a businessman or what an entrepreneur or what an influencer does in the backstage, in the background to make it happen to what it looks like. So with an NFT comes all the exclusive access which he is giving. That is why the prices of NFTs which he or some of the more other popular influencers and creators create are roaring up. So yes, that's all about NFTs. Let's talk about decentralized application as I mentioned while talking about wallets. How many of you are Android users here? Chat box, please. So Android users, we use Play Store to download and install application on mobile phones, right? And when we find a glitch, when we find a loophole, when we find a bug in that application, what we do is we just put it in the comment section of that uh, Play Store application, that application's feedback section, and mostly it is filled with negative comments. What if I tell you that you can actually contribute and fix that bug, fix that loophole all by yourself if you find it and if you can do it? Let's say I have downloaded some application from the Play Store and I face some problem and I know how to face that problem. So all I do is I just write and fix that code, make it work, upload it, and the one who created that application, he verifies it, approves it, and boom, that fix, that glitch has been fixed. You just made difference. You just contributed directly to that application. This is what happens in the case of DApp, decentralized application, where the users have access to just fix things because the code is open source and distributed among users. And how can you use that application? Just by your wallet ID. That is why the wallet ID is just like the Aadhaar card for Web3 space. For non-Indian, for the people from outside, Aadhaar card is the ID proof which we use in India. So it is just a license to access all the applications, all the softwares which we have in the Web3 space. So that is what a D app is. And what it does is it provides privacy. I'll tell you what, with an example, how it provides privacy. How many of you have heard about Omegle? Let's not talk about using it, but heard about Omegle. You must have seen it on Instagram Reels, people connecting with random people, using it to FaceTime it. I don't know why. I don't know why they want to talk to anybody about anything. So for those who don't know, Omegle is an online video chatting application. Where you just connect with the other person, and it is just another random person. It can be anyone. You have conversations, you have good time, you talk to each other, you know each other. But what you don't know is the conversations which you are having with the other person is not just between you two. Someone else is looking, someone else is having access to everything you talk and everything you do on that video calling app. And that is the developer, the team of Omegle. It is not just with the case of Omegle, but it is It happens in most of the cases when it comes to the web 2 space. And trust me, your privacy is at stake here. So in the web3 space, where you are hosting something, when you are using some applications, it is just you and the other person, no one else. No personal information used, no personal information hampered, no personal information misused. It is just you and the other person. If it is, for example, a video calling application, it provides censorship. And as I said, flexibility of development. By flexibility of development, I meant the ability of changing the code and updating that software. That is how cool that D app is. Sounds good? All clear till now? Chat box, please. No marketing company in between. No, man. All right. So what after D app? Let's come back to what is a DAO. Let's say we have an organization or a community or a company. So generally, we have a hierarchy. In an organization, it is president, vice president, secretary, joint secretary, treasurer, and so on and so on and so on. In a company, it goes like CEO, COO, CTO, CEO, CMO, and so on, so on, so on. If a member wants to, if a member has been in the company or organizations and feel that they have to talk to the CEO or to the president, they will have to follow a lot of protocols, lot of procedures to reach that level in order to just to talk to the uh, top designated person, which is the president or the CEO. It will take a lot of time, hell lot of time, hell lot of efforts, but still he or she won't be heard. But when it comes to decentralized autonomous organization, the term itself is very self-explanatory. So what this means is, this is a group of people, bunch of people, where there is no hierarchy. There is no president, no CEO, no one. It is just bunch of people with the same purpose. And all they do is when they want to implement something, they just put up a proposal and they vote among themselves. And whatever the majority decides, that happens. But it is not as easy as it seems. Because let's assume we want to create a social DAO, a name social DAO, which aims toward creating a community, not creating, but doing something for the betterment of the community in social aspect. So let's say we have 10 seats vacant for the social DAO, and we are selling one ticket, one seat for 50,000, right? So if someone acquires 3 tickets and the rest of them acquires single ticket, if one single person acquires 3 tickets of worth rupees 1.5 lakhs and the rest of the 7 people acquire 7 individual ticket of 50,000 rupees each, then when a proposal will be put forward, what will happen is the one who has more number of stakes under his control will have more power to the decision making process, will have more say towards that process. So what can happen is 4 people, the one who is having 3 votes and 3 independent votes, 6 can be in the favor and 4 can be against the proposal. So even though there are 6 people in the favor of the proposal and there are 4, I too got confused. Okay, let's say 4 people, out of which one has 3 votes and 3 people have single individual votes. So it made 6 votes, and they are in the favor of the proposal. And there are 6 people who have single votes, right? But still, they will not be counted because here the 6 votes are already in favor. Are you getting my point? Yes, no, yes, no. All right, sort of. That's fair. That's fair. All right. So what basically a DAO is a group of people having the same purpose, but it is not a group that anyone can join, but people have to buy stakes to just be in that DAO. and people can buy n number of not n number of, but as many as they can if they have the money. And the person who has more number of tickets, more number of seats in that DAO, they have more power over the decision making of the DAO in general. That is what a DAO can be. Yes, majority prevails over stakes. Yes, yes, yes. Sasikumar, you're right. You got me. So that is what a DAO is. That is how a DAO operates. Moving forward, yes, kind of. Quorum. समझ में आया क्या? So let's talk about metaverse in general. Have you heard about it? Yes, no, yes, no. All right. So before explaining what a metaverse is, I just want to know from you all that what kind of games have you played on your mobile phones? Just type it in the chat box. Mobile phones or laptop, whatever you prefer. What all games have you played? That's too old. All right. Family, Counter-Strike. Okay. All right. So have you all ever played game like Valorant, PUBG, GTA 5, or any sort of GTA? Mm-hmm. What if I tell you that is a metaverse in itself? Those games are a metaverse in itself. I'll tell you how. You log into PUBG, you create your ID, you customize your avatar, all from the eyes to hair, the height to body type to everything. You give it a name, you customize all the attire, sometimes you buy it. You just play games where you have 3 to 4 modes. You explore the city, you kill people, and you experience that virtual reality on your mobile phone or your desktop. That is what a metaverse do in general. That is what the concept of a metaverse is, which is inform, escape, tell stories, venue for activities, collaborate. By collaborating, I mean when you play PUBG, you get to see so many new people all around the world. You meet them, you play with them, you form a team, and you play with them. And you just have fun and you interact, you network. That is what a metaverse does in general. Yes. So let me tell you one thing, that the company I work for, Lumos Labs, is creating its own metaverse. A metaverse which is primarily and supremely focused on developers and the companies in the Web3 space. Developers from both the Web3 and Web2 space. By Web2 space, I mean from those who are having skills in Web2, who are into coding and who want to transition into Web3 space, will have a platform to stand, to interact with the companies, the recruiters directly from the metaverse. A platform where there will be companies and there will be you. Simple. Nothing in between. Nothing in between. So it will have the same thing as the PUBG had. You will have to register. You will have to customize your avatar. You will have to put it your name. You will have to explore. You will have to enter the building. You will have to apply, sit, code, or attend event, organize events, give interviews, work. That is what we are building in the coming next 3 to 4 months. And this is how it is gonna look. The avatar over here, the overall layout of the metaverse, the characteristics, the design, this is how it is gonna look. Yes, a 3D avatar, yes, of yourself, Mayank. So to sum it up, as I mentioned, every basic terms involved in Web3 space. As I talked about decentralized applications, it showed that it is open because the code was open for all the users to engage with and to alter. It is open. It is permissionless. You don't have to log in by using all your private and personal credentials. All you need is a wallet ID to access any application in the Web3 space. It is decentralized. By decentralized, it means you have the ownership of your data. No other entity, no other company can have or can change or can alter with your content. It is just you and your content and what you want to do with your content, your data. It is immutable and uninterrupted, as I explained how blockchain worked. And since the blocks are interlinked with each other, that tells why it cannot be tampered with and why it is almost fail proof. All clear till now? Yes, no, yes, no. Great, 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 great. So as I said, that I will tell you what opportunities do we have. Me personally being a community manager, I come from an engineering background. I am an electrical engineer by degree, and I always had a thing for organizational and management stuff. So I applied at this company as a community manager, and look where my passion led me to. So as far as technical roles are considered, for all the people attended this session who are into coding or into IT space, they must be knowing something about coding or any coding language or programs to run. So we have blockchain developer, network engineer, engineering leads, software engineer, and network architect. That are the different network technical roles we have for all of you. And as far as the non-technical roles, which I personally like because I am myself a non-technical guy, a community manager, product and project manager. By product and project manager, I mean the product which we are building, the Metaverse, Lumos Metaverse. It has got a product manager, right? To implement strategies and to look after all this stuff behind it. A developer advocate, marketing coordinator to market everything we built and everything we organize. And the most uh, sustainable job in every industry, it is content writer and technical writer. Because no matter how tech savvy you get, no matter how much you improvise on your technologies in the company, you will always need someone to write about your content and to publish it. So this is why the content writer and technical writer are these two posts are something which are never going to replenish. It will stay forever. Not, let's not say forever, but for a very long time. So yes, these are the roles which we have in this Web3 space, both technical, non-technical. But before I tell you how you can get into this, I have a simple interactive question from my side, which I want you all to answer, which is, what is the definition of a community for you? I'll wait for 2 minutes for your answers. A simple one-line definition of a community. These are some great examples. Nice. All right, all right. So apart, I'll tell you what it is. See, the definitions can vary person to person, but from the experience which I have gained over the last 5 years working in different organizations and finally into a community, finally into a company as a community manager, what I have learned is a community is nothing but a group of people, irrespective of their age, their caste, their race, their gender, having a purpose and an intent, and unified, a similar purpose and intent to do something. That is what we call a community. That is my definition of community, and it can vary. There cannot be a single definition, a single justified definition of what a community is. So to simplify it, how many of you have seen Minions or Despicable Me? Nice. Don't you think this is the best example of what a community is? Because see, Minions always cared about finding and serving the most evil and cruel boss. Always. No matter who it was, how it was, they just wanted to serve a badass boss. That's it. If one died, they'll find another. If that died, they'll find another one. But their purpose, their intent was always the same. Even if it was 200 of minions, the intent and purpose was the same. Even if there was 5 or 10 of minions, the intent and purpose was the same. So for me, minions is the best example of how you can define a community. Do you agree with me? Yes, no, yes, no. That's great to hear. Right, all right. So, how many of you have doctors in your family? Not just your parents or maybe distant relatives. You do, right? Some might have doctors, some might have engineers, some may be engineers, some might be becoming engineers, right? All of them, all of them, all the professions existing have their own communities. And it is not just like if it is a group of community, if it is a bunch of people coming together from the same background, they'll work only on that particular aspect. It is never like it. If there is a community of doctors, they can work on the social aspect. If there is a community of engineers, they can work toward educational aspect. That is what, that is why we have communities for. Yes. And it is not like this community exists just for the elite classes. Even the auto walas we have, they too have a community. So for every profession existing in this world, there is a community. And why I emphasize over building a community, joining a community is because I give credit to my professional success, personal success, to all the communities I have been part of and all the experience I have gained over time. And yes, so with this, I want to tell you all how you can land or you can get an opportunity in the Web3 space if you're really excited about it. And this is by joining this community with over 5,800 folks all over globe, all belonging from different backgrounds, different experiences, different profession. So if you want to, I have shared this link. I will share this link in some times with you all in the chat box. Till that time, you can scan this QR code, go to the Discord server, verify yourself, go to the introduce yourself section and introduce yourself, or just tell everybody in general chat on how you find this session. All right. Till that time, if you have any questions, we have around just a minute left. You can note that questions and ping me on my social media handles. I'll answer all of them. And yes, बस यही तक था जो था. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Thank you for being patient and responsive. Thank you so much, guys.